It's official, Toyota have announced it's the end of the V8. So the mighty 70 Series V8, it's out of here, and the future of the 70 Series and PDP, it's the 4-cylinder variant, and it's going to be available in the manual. So let's jump straight into the video and have a walk through it. I've got the official statement from Toyota right here. Okay, so first of all, for those that didn't know, the V8 Landcruiser, it's been around since 2007, so it's well overdue to get a change. And for them to go to a 4-cylinder, that's a massive change. Toyota haven't taken this decision lightly. As they've said in here, they're building for a long-term future with the 70 Series globally, not just here in Australia. With that, there's a few other key points as well. The final production of the V8 Troopy, Workmate, GX pickups will take place in September. But however, it goes on to then say production of the Bent 8 is scheduled to continue well into next year with the high demand 79 Series GXL single cabs and double cabs. So it depends on the different variants. You aren't going to get a V8, and if you do, you're only going to get a cancellation order. So once again, V8, it's gone. It is the 4-cylinder. 5-speed manual is available now in the 4-cylinder. However, in this statement, I've found something that's quite interesting to me, and it states here, the new 5-speed that's engineered for high torque output. As of October production, it says here, it's only available for body styles and grades except for single cab and Workmate wagons. So everyone's saying the manual is going to be for the mines and all those people that are demanding it. In this statement, the way I understand it is it's not available in the single cab or the Workmate wagons, which makes me think otherwise. Have they kept that auto to protect the engine and the vehicle? They've upgraded synchros and they've changed the ratios to suit what they've designed and put together with the 4-cylinder variant. This statement says that they're quite confident and they really want to keep it in the market for heavy towing capacities and obviously the harsh environments that the 70 Series built to go in. They want this thing to drive into the future and be around for a long time, and they've done that with a 12-inch clutch upgrade. Yet to see what that's going to be like. Furthermore, in the statement as well, they talk about the transmission bell housing and they're sealing it to the engine. This is something I've seen with other manufacturers. The earlier V8, the bell housing was exposed and debris and stuff could get in there, and the clutch release bearing can be exposed to those elements. In this statement, they say it's sealed now, so that's going to be quite interesting to see, and then how that goes long-term serviceability. Is it going to be a dual mass flywheel? That's the question I have. No one's going to know that just yet. Also have some impressive stats on here with Landcruisers. Since 1985, the introduction to Australia, with the 70 Series Landcruisers, there is 742 Landcruisers 70 Series brought into Australia. Now get this one, 171,010 vehicles have been the iconic V8 Landcruiser. That's almost half of them the V8. So that just tells you the following that this V8 has had behind it and why it is and where it is today. I mean, the 70 Series Landcruiser was super iconic vehicle, and behind me, the 4-cylinder one here. However, my opinion is it all started with a 4-cylinder diesel. History's repeated itself and it's back here again. So further down in the statement, they mention as well the maximum power of the 1GD is 150 kilowatts from 3200 to 3400 RPM, while peak torque is 450 Newton meters. It's 20 Newton meters more than the V8. They've upgraded the clutch in this to handle the more power that they're saying it outputs. They've redesigned the gearbox. One thing they haven't covered off in this statement is the pricing and availability and when the delivery times are. As time goes on, obviously we're going to be privileged to that information. If you want to see this statement, jump onto the Toyota website and check it out for yourself. So with all those changes, Toyota have stated that they've had to make the changes due to the regulations. Now for near on 10 years, these vehicles have had DPFs fitted to them. Where are they going to go in the future? This thing's going to be around, I'm guessing, for 10 years to come. Is it going to have AdBlue in the future? Comment below, what do you think? Now let's talk to Ronny, who's made the move to the mighty 2.8, so to say, and he's owned two V8s for over 10 years. So let's have a chat to him and see what he has to say about it. And Ronny, you've got the 2.8, half of the V8. We've got some questions for you today and see what you think of it.
It's probably less than half of the V8, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
2.8, yeah, if I'm doing my math correct. No, it's not. I'm doing my math incorrect. Oh my God.
The tables have turned.
Yes. Yes, so I have switched over to the 2.8, and I myself, like a lot of other people, thought that it was the dumbest move they ever did. I actually went through a video the other day where I was talking to Chris Woods, camera guy, who was talking about he wants the Troopy, but he didn't want the V8, but he would love the 3.3 litre, but maybe even the 2.8 litre. And I was like, 2.8 litre? No way, Toyota won't do that, that's stupid. Yeah. And I did it.
I was keen as if they, like having the 300, if they had the V6 in it, I was sold. And then, I don't know, 2.8, I'm not coming around to it just yet. I know, I mean, driving yours though, it does drive really nice. And the auto.
Yeah, the auto is amazing.
It's
good. And the cooling, I'd have to say the cooling is probably the best part of that car.
So the running temperatures?
Yeah, just the transmission temperatures and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you really got to give it a hard time, like in a really steep driveway, and you're just on it the whole time to inch up.
You're talking transmission temperatures?
Yeah, transmission temperatures. Yeah. Unbelievable.
On the converter, okay.
Even if they get hot, you know, because you're giving it a hard time, they'll cool down real quick.
So in saying that, we're talking about the transmissions, the gear shifts, and what gears it goes into, because obviously, you know, with the V8 and the manual is always, you know, bigger tyres, and you know, do you do the upgraded gearbox with the taller fifth? And if you're towing, not, yes, no. What's the overall consensus of how that drives in that vehicle?
It drives awesome. So when you're towing, you'd use the power haul mode, and that changes the whole car.
Yeah.
It changes it completely. Drives different. You'll never reach 6th gear in that mode unless you exceed the speed limit, I guess. But I still don't think you would actually ever get there. So it just holds the gears longer. It behaves like like how you want it to when you're towing. Like the Hilux I had before, towing a lot of weight, sometimes it'll get stuck between those gears, you know. So
that was something I was going to say as well, having the Hilux, and if we talk about that engine and an auto, and we talk tyre sizes as an overall package, because now you've had the factory tyres, 33s, 35s, and it sounds, and I can see you're confident and you like how it tows and drives.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
You know.
To be honest, it's on a 4-inch lift, right, on 35s. It doesn't need that at all. If for whatever reason I have to put it back down, I don't really care. I would honestly go to 2-inch or stock with 33s. It's amazing. It was amazing on 33s and a stock height. It actually felt like it flexed a bit more.
Yeah, okay. Well. So it sounds like you're pretty happy with the 4-cylinder, and auto life in the 70.
I never thought I don't know.
I do remember those phone calls. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to keep this car. I was like, huh? What do you? This isn't what the original plan was, and you were just.
No, it wasn't.
And you were like, I don't know if I should say this, and you were like, yeah, I am actually saying this, and I'm keeping it. I mean, it probably went on for a while, and you're like, yeah, no, I do like how it drives. Yeah. Fuel consumption, V8 versus 4-cylinder.
Oh, it's wipes it clean on the paper, I reckon. Yeah. It's like 13.5, a mix of city and off-road. Yeah. And that's with 35-inch tyres. And that's not going by what's on the dash, it's like actually measuring it.
Yeah, okay.
Look, it has put a dent in the tank, obviously. It's a 130 litre tank. But if it was a V8, the dent would be much bigger. What I will say though, like all 70s, they drive like a bucking bull straight out of the showroom. So unless
with the 76, that shorter wheelbase.
Yeah. Without any weight?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I was going to say no weight. I suppose as well, another one I think's really helped it with the auto is obviously you're not having to, the clutch, you can just drive it, so to say, and the auto's doing the work for you, but so it does naturally just going to feel like it takes off smoother and faster.
A lot of the stuff you got to do too as well.
A lot of the help I find, the gear ratios and the diffs have obviously changed that. So how do you find that?
Yeah, I find the diff ratios like good.
Okay. Really
good. So that's where the difference is. All it is what they've done in the diff ratios, but also keeping the transfer case from the V8.
And most of all, the auto, you know the car's not going to roll away. Yeah. You put it in park, so I mean, you fix that. That's a big plus, I think.
And the handbrake lasts longer because they're working together, right?
Well, do you actually forget to put it on because you just never did in a 70? I always hear
no.
that points at the roof.
Yeah.
Still doesn't do anything, but it's
always put it on. Always, even if it doesn't work.
No more V8. It's not the future's here. I think everyone's getting smaller capacity, more output. Do you think it's going to last? And that engine being a 70 series for, I don't know, let's call it 2007 onwards in the VDJs, like in the 70 series, through to pretty much
who knows
now.
Probably not as long.
Do you reckon it's going to go that long? Because it's already been in the Hilux and the Prado. Okay, with some variants and little bits of change.
I just think more heat is running through that engine, right? But the thing is, if you kept the V8 stock, which most people wouldn't, you're also putting more heat through that. So it's hard to judge. But I reckon if you kept them both stock, the V8 would probably live for 100 years. It
has been a proven engine. But but if we go back in history, though, I think this is why we buy Toyotas, or this is why I love them. You buy them because they last. Yes, you're going to pay more for them. If we go down and back in history, 1HFT was that's the holy grail. I still love that engine. I actually think if I had to buy a Troopy, that would be the engine I wanted. I just love how that performs. But I suppose the 4-cylinder in it, is it going to go? Obviously, people build these cars to go off road and go the long distance.
That was my biggest thing.
Service regime. That's where I think is it going to, because obviously you got less cylinders moving the same mass.
Yeah.
So, is it going to have a higher degree of wear and tear? So.
Well, yeah, I mean, heat induces wear.
Yeah, and the cooling capacity, as we all know with the Toyota, it is second to none. I haven't seen anyone.
On this latest one, even better. Yeah, they're bringing out the manual 2.0.
Yeah, they are now because obviously done away with the V8, so the manual. I mean, that's going to be. I honestly don't think it's going to perform as good. No. A smaller engine with a manual, because the auto is going to, it's a torque multiplier, so it really takes off and wants to get up and go. Whereas the manual, I think it's going to fall into, you have to pedal it to get it, and it's just changing gears too.
And then you got to do all the upgrades again and all that. So I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to try. It'd be interesting to put those two up against each other. Same old wheel track.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping that was going to change. So I haven't really. Everything's positive. You haven't really. Is there anything you're not happy with, or you think could have they done better, or what is it? Their shortcomings, I suppose, or what do you see potentially being an issue?
I don't really think there's. Yeah, it's a basic car, so you buy it to be basic. Many people will complain about and say, "Oh, it's shit because it doesn't have this and that and that," but that's not the car for that person. Then it's the car that you want to make into your own, or you just want no fuss, just want to head out. You know. Yeah.
So as an overall overview of what we've been talking about, how do you feel? Do you think Toyota have made the right decision in going to the 2.8?
I think they were forced to make that decision like everyone else. So keeping that in mind, I think they have made the right decision, even though I didn't think it was a very good decision to start with. Yeah.
And saying that as well, no more V8. It's only the 4-cylinder. It's only been available in the auto. Do you think that, like, the minds or everyone jumping up and down, I want a manual? I mean, what car comes out with a manual option these days? It's getting few and far between. From a manufacturer's point of view, I think they like the autos because they have all like torque tables that can, modify the engine output. It can look after the drivetrain.
Yeah.
You can have someone that's quite abusive or, heavy on operating the vehicle in harsh environments, but the auto, you can put all these limiting factors in there so they can protect what Toyota have designed. And I actually do think how they do that is quite clever. And like axles, like in the 70 and diffs with an auto, it's like a big lucky bang, big shock absorber. It's going to absorb all that.
That is a big thing for me because, as you know, how many times you fix my cars, you probably couldn't count it on your hands, or maybe probably not actually. And that's all from direct shock loads down the line, and you can feel it. You can feel it, and that's what I used to like about the V8 is you can feel everything you're doing.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, correct.
But you also know when you're
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, like as well, that low range, that graunch and groan, you get that right down low in the RPM. You probably don't even experience that anymore, do you? You just sort of accelerating just
I don't need low range a lot of the time.
because the auto, you can get it to
Yeah,
take off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Particularly with 33s.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
35s, you start to need low range a little bit more,
Actually,
but
I
not
have
really.
a question for you.
Yeah.
On the beach, like if you talk about the auto and you're in low range, or do you generally, are you high range? What do you, because you're saying you can take off. Whereas the 70, you know, when you're in the high range, you couldn't get to take off. So you had to go back to low range,
Yeah.
get on the move, and you're like, oh, hang on, now we're like too much RPM, the transfer cases, you can hear it winding out.
Yeah.
And then you go back to high and you're on the move. But if you stop, or if you come up to some real tricky, soft sand, that with the bigger tyres, first gear high range is
Or
just...
if you're towing as well.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Whereas, do you need to worry about that as much with the auto?
Not really. I find myself less in low range for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because the feedback isn't so harsh through the whole, because like when you're in low range, what you're putting through that pedal is like multiplied by 2.4, and it's like you feel it all. It's like that.
Yes, yeah.
You don't get that in this.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you can get it at first gear low a little bit, but not really. Hey, easier to control. Like you said, lackey band.
Yeah, I think it's a much better. And then, okay, on that factor with the autos, traction control. Do you have to
that's one
turn
thing
it off every time as well? And,
So that's one thing I wish I didn't put in the car.
Yeah.
I understand it's like a safety thing.
Push it once and then you got to push and hold it again. Otherwise, you think, I've turned it off, you've got to hold it.
haven't.
So a lot of people that aren't used to that, I think they find they get bogged on the beach.
Yeah. So many people are not aware of it too.
Yeah.
There's a few people I know that, they're like really experienced four-wheel drivers that own a 200 series and they didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And someone who doesn't know much at all told them about it because I told them about it. I showed them and then...
Actually,
you learn something new every day.
You do. And it's usually after you've got bogged, someone goes, no, you got to push and hold it down longer. But tip is, don't turn the car off. Because otherwise you've got to do it all again.
Yes.
So
that's
I
the
think
thing.
we've all come unstuck with that.
Yes, 100%.
So, well, no more V8. I think it's a consensus that the four-cylinder is here.
I still have a V8. Second-hand V8.
Yes. Look up. Yeah, the price of them, and everyone's jumped on them of late, going, oh, I'm going to get the last of. Some people got really lucky with it.
Yeah.
And some people are like, oh, I don't want a four-cylinder. But look, it's like when the 300 come out, or new model car, everyone's a bit skeptical, don't want this. I think from what we see of all the reports and customer feedback, some people are a bit skeptical of it. And, I wanted a V8, haven't got it. They've actually taken the four-cylinder, like, you know what, it actually drives really well. I like how it drives.
And until I actually take it for a drive, because I was one of those, I took that one for a drive, I was like,
I distinctly remember when you bought that car, you're like, I just think it's going to go.
Yeah.
So this is my 2016 dual cab V8 Landcruiser. Yes, it's the DPF model. It's one of the first ones. I've loved the 70 series. I've seen them grow. I had to get a V8 as well. All the passion and development with these cars, it's what's made us where we are today. All the time and energy we've put into it, all the feedback from the customers, fixing all the solutions. That's what's made us and got us to where we are today with product development and innovation. We've loved the journey, and to think that the V8's gone, look, it is a sad day. However, the new four-cylinder 2.8, it's the future, it's innovation, it is exciting times. Look, Toyota have always made a great product, so we've got to look at it as a positive, and the 300 series as well. That's a whole new era. I was a bit hesitant with it, however, love that as well. But V8, 70 series, that's what this video is about. Yes, I'm sad to see the V8 go. However, the exciting future is upon us right now, so let's just see where we take that. All right, guys, for those that didn't know, we ran a competition for a $200 PDP voucher. And for those of you that are subscribers, here it is. The winner is right below. All you had to do is send in and tag us on social media. So thank you for that, guys. Winner, once again, it's on the screen right below, right here. And if you like this video, comment below, hit us up. Other than that, guys, enjoy the new 70 series. I hope you get one. I might too. I'll see you in the next video.